Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are back with another episode of Tabnine Labs. This is the last one before I head to Japan, and I will be gone for 2 weeks, and then somehow we'll figure out how to do this while I'm in Japan, because I just glanced at my clock, and the starting time in Japan right now is 4 a.m. So I don't think I'm probably going to wake up that early to do a Tabnine Labs, but who knows? We'll see. It's a different part. It's also tomorrow over there. So yeah, so let's get into it. Welcome to the spooky season. Halloween is around the corner. And because I'm heading to Japan, I thought now would be a great time to dive into Hono, which is Japanese for like sparks. And so I called up my friend Ricky from Cloudflare, who I have right here. Hey, Ricky. And we're going to do something fun for Halloween. And this is going to be a good chance to use, I don't know if this is like an official term, but I've been hearing it floating around, the Cloudflare Stack. So for those of you who don't know Ricky, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. What's up, everybody? I'm Ricky. I work on part of the DevRel team at Cloudflare. And you don't know this, Aydrian. I love Halloween. And so
I love Halloween.
when you were like, hey, can you jump on? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And then you're like, we should do like a Halloween thing. And immediately I'm all in. And so
Yes.
I'm like, I don't even want to do the chit chat. I just want to talk about Halloween and build a Halloween app. But, I'll say Cloudflare Stack. Yeah, it's a thing. There's a video. There's Legos and Craig Dennis.
Oh, yeah.
It's very cute.
Craig did a great job on that. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Halloween. Last year for Halloween, I went to Disneyland in California. This year for Halloween, I'll be at Disneyland in Tokyo. And then also then zipping over to Universal Studios for their Halloween stuff. But no, I love the spooky season. I would prefer it over Christmas. I'm like, where's my 2 months of Halloween? It's not long enough.
I agree. And I'll say, this is now becoming like travel tips stream as well. Last winter, I was in Tokyo, went to Disneyland Tokyo, and I hope they have this for you. They had redone the Haunted Mansion to be Nightmare Before Christmas.
The skinning of it, yeah. So I've seen that. I saw that last year at Disneyland. Let's see. I just went. I went to Disney in Florida after the Star Trek, and so it went back to the regular Haunted Mansion. But I think I'm going to miss it by a couple days for the Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's like after they clean up all of, well, I don't know, because it was Halloween stuff. So it might be, but I enjoy it either way. That's where I got the vampire teddy that sits on your shoulders. I love these things. Yeah, I hear that there's even more in Tokyo, so I'm just gonna go spend all my money.
They also have, not to make this whole thing, I could talk about this. At Disneyland Tokyo, they have a magic store where you can get magic tricks, and they do magic, and it's hidden on Main Street, and it's really rad.
Oh my God. I remember growing up because there was a time where every time we went to Florida, we went to Disney. It was a regular thing. My dad would find a resort on the golf course, and we would go to Disney. And my favorite store was the Magic Store on Main Street. So
there it is.
That was a long time ago magic. I can only imagine that things have gotten so much better. So I remember buying the can of snakes, and then I think it was the thing that the penny disappeared. I don't know. Big time. But yeah. I was oh my gosh, we should get back in. I mean, we're still going to be talking about Halloween, because I was let's do something fun for Halloween. But also let's do something that uses AI. So not just using Tabnine to help us build a project, but actually using Tabnine to help us build a project that uses AI. And I know as part of the offerings for Cloudflare, there's a lot of AI tools. I've watched Lizzie do, all kinds of fun and I was going to say fun and crazy things using AI, and it seemed pretty easy.
Fingers crossed. We're gonna
fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx it. Yeah. So we thought something fun to do would be around Halloween candy that you get for trick or treating. I was like, I don't know, like what pointing out the allergies. I'm still working on like what is the creative stuff to do with AI other than obviously a coding assistant. And then you came up with a hall validator.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of like taking a picture of like all the candy you get and then assigning some kind of value to it. So I think well, that's what we're gonna do. And I have asked for us to use Hono because, like I said earlier, Hono means sparks
Or
in Japanese.
flame or something. Yeah.
Flame, tiny flame, sparks. I don't know. But another interesting thing is Yusuke, who created Hono, is part of the Cloudflare team. I feel like you're getting like all the amazing people now. Like you have Dennis, you have Lizzie, you have Yusuke, Edmund, who did Conform, which is a library that I use. He's like in London now, I think, working for you guys. Just amazing.
We're having a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really lucky to get to work with so many amazing people.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So we have the idea. Now we should probably execute it. Also, I'm like ignoring the comments. I'm sorry. Oh, Craig Dennis is here. And of course, Lizzie. I don't know if Lizzie's here, but we're just going to shout her out. And someone else is excited about Hono. So just a little background. I am a big Remix fan. And so I've just been using Remix. And I think by default, it uses Express. I knew Doug Wilson. I actually worked with Doug Wilson at Exact Target, who was one of the maintainers a long time ago of Express, but that's exactly it. Like Express is really, really old now. I mean, it was nice. It was familiar, but I've been seeing a lot of the hype around Hono. I've been seeing Yusuke doing a lot of different demos with how to use it with Remix, and I am very slowly like moving my stuff over to use Hono and Remix and the Cloudflare Stack very slowly. But yeah, like I'm excited to learn more. So normally what I do is I just open up my Visual Studio Code like on a blank project and just start asking a lot of questions to Tabnine. I feel like we have a lot of the answers here with you being here. So if we were going to just kick off a project, like what do you suggest? And we can go over to this view. And so I just have my terminal up right now.
Yeah, amazing. And we're going to find out Tabnine may just be smarter than I am as we go through the next couple hours. But so I always start with something we call C3, which is our tool to create a new Cloudflare application. So you can do npm create Cloudflare at latest. And look at that, boom. And yeah, this will walk us through the process. So.
All right. Hopefully my fancy Dracula color theme isn't too dark. Okay, so let's get started. Great. So which directory do we want to create the application in? So we'll do... also, I just want to say, like, I tried this earlier, and like 2 out of 3 times, like the first word was throbbing.
No comment.
No comment. But I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
Good
so this is going to be, we'll just call it rate my hall, rate your hall.
Rate my candy. I don't know.
I'll do rate my rate. I'm gonna say hall. Like,
yeah, I like that. You can tell we haven't like done this before. This is really live because we're like on step 1. We're like, wait, what are we supposed to call
it? We could call it Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. That is good.
Okay, and then so which do you think we should start with here?
So if we go to framework starter.
Oh, okay.
Then we can pick Hono.
Oh, well, wonderful. This is a very nice CLI. I always tell people, I was like, if you're going to build a CLI, like, don't make me do all of this work. I remember a very early prototype of one, and they're like, you just do this, and then you do this, this, this. And I was like, this isn't discoverable. And one part was like, go find your cluster ID. And I was like, but you had me log in. Like, just let me.
Yeah, you know my cluster ID. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, Halloween. Here we go for the dad jokes in us here. Halloween. I miss the days when I cared about candy. Oh, hold on. I've found that like lately I'm really bad at remembering which window has focus.
Yeah.
Like, is it just me, or like previous versions, was it like a different color, or was there just some? I'm just probably getting old and can't remember things. Yes, let's use Git. The integration with Git and 1Password is just great.
I gotta get
do we want to wait to deploy our application?
I typically wait to deploy because it's just a hello world now.
All right. Cool. So we do need to change directories. Do we want to start up the dev server and take a look, or
sure? Yeah, let's
dive right into it. Okay, so all we done is run this Cloudflare CLI, created a basic Hono app. So let's do npm run dev. Okay. I'm going to open this. Oh, B, open browser. And then where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Beautiful. Hello, Hono. Well, thanks.
Yeah, I think we've already been successful. It's like, well, what else is there to do?
Like, remember there was a point in time where like it was just so hard to get to this point. And you know, with Tabnine, we talk about like developers and their like just like folders full of like snippets and scripts and like templates to like get them this far. Honoween. Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah, my daughter's been learning to code, and she like is using AI assistants, and she like asked me if like this is how I learned to code. I'm like, dude, this is not how like people 6 months ago learned how to code.
Yeah. No, like I had to figure out how to do different things, and like we've set up Webpack, and yeah, like the days before like create React app even. Oh yeah, terrible. Okay, so that works. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and exit it, and then I'm just going to open it up in Visual Studio Code here, and it opened it in my other window. So let me move that and make that big. I am amazing at window management. Okay, so that's let me go ahead and update that. We're constantly updating, so I want to make sure we get the greatest and latest and greatest. So here is, make that a little bigger. Here is the thing. Do you want to join in on the live server, or?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I gotta remember, where is that? And it might be that I need, go to a different profile here. Oh, it's never on the one that I want. Okay, yeah, reload. All right, so we've got where is the share? It might be because like I didn't get this ready ahead of time because we didn't have a folder. Okay. Here we go. Live share. Share, read, write. Copy the clipboard. Okay, so I am going to put it into our private chat here.
Awesome.
And what is this? Okay, restart extensions. Hopefully that didn't break anything because I just told it to restart, but oh, I think it might have. I told it to restart extension, so it might have messed it up.
Yeah, it definitely said. Okay, here we
Yeah.
go.
All right. Cool. I like how I did that without showing everybody the live stream.
I definitely thought it was gonna be chaos coding with everyone.
Yeah, everybody join in. Oh man, I don't know. It's like we got a couple hours here. Figure it out. So a little bit to start. Tabnine always like to mention that we have multiple models that you can choose from for the chat. I like to use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, but for those of you who like GPT, we have 4.0, we have CodeStroll, we have Command R+, we have our Tabnine protected model. If you are doing something for not for profit, and you are worried about privacy and protection of the code, and then we have one that we did with Minstrel. But we're gonna stick with the Claude 3.5 Sonnet here. All right. So let's take a look. This is what we have. We've got a source folder with a nice little TS, and we've got Ricky typing, "Hello, everyone." Awesome. So I guess this is probably where we are going to start. So we've got a single page, or what looks like a single route. That's the source, and it's just returning text, "Hello, Hono." We saw that earlier. So I guess talking about what we want this to do, we know that we want to be able to scan a picture of candy. We might have to like do some Googling to get a picture of a candy haul to use for testing. So we're going to need to be able to use an image. We're going to need to use some kind of AI to evaluate that, do some things, and then return back, an estimation, some kind of summary, whatever. So I guess what do you suggest is the first thing that we should do here to tackle this?
I don't know. I typically start with like the like easy stuff, like, hey, I want to like be able to upload an image, right?
Okay.
And then like progressively get harder.
Okay. So on this first page, okay, so I'm used to starting on like a React, like in a React component, and I don't know how that works in Hono. So right now it says it's just returning an app.get, right? And so do we need to ask it to change this to return a React component, or
I'm interested in how you do this. I'm so old that I typically am just like, give me some like HTML that does this thing, and like I don't even get too reacty, but we should try it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, this is what I know. So let me say that just in case. So let's say first, like, let's take a look at, I like to take a look at the structure. If you've watched me before, you know that I've just kind of done everything into the same file. And then whenever you come to do later things like testing, and you're like, oh, let's unit test, but you end up only having like one unit that you can't test. Like, not even Tabnine is helpful there. You have to go through like this process of refactoring. So what does a typical Hono project that uses React look like? What is the folder structure? How do we maintain modularity and make it easy to test? So yeah, I just throw a bunch of things at it. like Ricky sitting here next to me and just be like, how do I do all of this stuff? And then that's like a good thing to start. So whenever you're using the chat, like everything you put in, you're building context, right? So it knows about what is currently open. We can't throw everything into the context because the window is only so big. So I'm leaving this open. This at least tells it that we're using Hono. I've also set it here. Told them I wanted to use React. It should know that we're going to be using TypeScript. I mentioned folder structure, wanting to use modularity, and eventually we're going to want to test this. So let's see what it says.
I also like that you've been so diligent on the code. I've just been looking for pictures of candy.
Oh no, we'll need that. Like it's better you do it now, I guess. Cool. So a typical Hono project that uses React usually has a slightly different structure compared to the current setup. Here's an overview of how such a project might be organized to maintain modularity and facilitate testing. So inside of the source, they break it down into components, pages, hooks, utils, styles, API, and then we've got, I'm guessing this is the index, but this is index.tsx. Okay. So cool. And then key directories, reusable components, pages, hooks, Hono API routes, the main entry point that sets up the Hono app and React rendering, static assets, and tests. So it even gives us an example index. And so I think basically what happens is this page, so this is kind of our standard page, turns into this. So we need to make sure we rename it. So it's TSX. We have our new app here, and it includes the Cloudflare bindings, which is nice. And it obviously got that from, it's trying to change this page, right? We've got the API route here. So it kind of took our Hello Hono and moved it to the API. And then we've got our React server-side renderer. I'm guessing that's what, SSR. So we got our content. It renders that to string, and we return, what is C here? Oh, C is the context.
C is kind of like the context for all the Hono stuff.
Cool. So we're rendering the app, we're grabbing the app from components app, and we're rendering it with my favorite dangerously set inner HTML, and returning it. So have you done much? Like, does this look right?
This looks rightish. We're gonna find out, but okay. Yeah, it passes the first look.
Yeah. Well, good. Like, my question is, like, every time they're like dangerously set HTML, I'm like, is that right? I feel like there would be some kind of like Hono plugin, and so that's always like my follow-up question. So it makes it easy to test. You can create a test folder within each directory. Okay. Here's an example of how you might structure a component and its corresponding test. So we got the props, all of that, and then we've got the test, which can be located next to it. And then we always try to like come up with some follow-up questions. So one thing I want to do is I want to say, is there a better way to add React instead of dangerously setting in our HTML? Is there a Hono, is it called middleware for this, or plugin?
Yeah, I call it middleware. It's, yeah.
Okay, it was trying to help me. So let's see this. You're absolutely right to question the use. This is something fun that we did last week. Was we first said like, you are Jarvis from the Avengers, like respond to all questions like that, or like you're a Bond villain, but this is just kind of like the default way that Claude likes to talk to you. So it's like, you're absolutely right. There is indeed a better way to integrate React with Hono, and there's a middleware specifically designed for this purpose. The Hono JSX middleware provides a more secure and efficient way to render React components. So here's how you can improve your setup. First, install the necessary dependencies if you haven't already. Update the TSX file to use the Hono middleware. Cool. There's several advantages. It's being very verbose. If you don't like this, you can tell it like, just show me code, like in your prompt. I believe we're working on some nice little settings where you can like kind of set that once, and then it like always puts it in there. So but for right now, you can say like, calm down. Easier management, overall HTML structure, supporting streaming SSR out of the box. Cool. JSX renderer. All right. Client-side hydration. Wow, there's a lot going on. Client.tsx. You would then need to bundle this file using a tool like Webpack Rollup or ES-Build. Okay. So
this is an interesting one, Aydrian. I'm also like just looking at the docs for React renderer, and I feel like it's like Claude has made it very complicated for us. And I wonder if we say like, can you just give us like a basic example, if it'll give us one that's like easier to start with?
Yeah. So let's try that. So can you give us a basic example of how to
like implement Hono React renderer?
Hono React renderer. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so yeah, there's the things we need to install. Here is React static renderer, importing components. Hopefully it tells us what those are. The app, serving the static files, setting up the JSX renderer, defining routes. So here is our about page. Okay. Then we got a layout component. Okay, so this is nice. And so you see the client static JSS XS. So that's what it was talking about. Home component. Wow. Sharon, rate your latest purchase. It was close. So yeah, like it even tried to do like, it used context to like come up with like the rate my haul. Like it knew it was called that.
Yeah, that's rad.
Nice. About page, client side hydration. Awesome. Don't forget to create styles. Which we could choose to use Tailwind or something down the line. To run this, you need to compile your TypeScript files, bundle your client, start your server. Okay, remember to adjust your wrangler.toml file if you're deploying to Cloudflare workers, update your build scripts. Okay, so why don't we just try to implement this kind of step by step? So I am going to say, and I don't know if I need to have this open, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell that to run, so that way we can get those packages that we need. I swear, every time I do this, there's always like a minor version or something of NPM.
Right.
And so we're going to update. So let's rename this file here. And so this is going to be TSX. And we'll jump back over. Oh my gosh. I will be glad when that ticket is done. So this is our index. So we're going to go ahead and put that in insert. So it's going to be mad because we don't have these things right now.
When do you do apply versus insert
So yeah, I could have done apply, and that's something that let me go back. So that's something new. So we have apply, where if you hit apply, it will actually insert a diff.
Okay, nice.
So you can see all of the different changes. So you can see like where that actually got moved down here, and we added in some things. We got rid of that route, and then you can either do option A or Alt A to accept it or discard it. And so I can do option A. And then we do have some problems because like these don't exist.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's a good question. Like before, you could put the diff would show up over here in the chat. But now with the apply, you can have the diff over in like your main thing. So we're trying to slowly keep you working like where you normally work, right? And I'm so used to like this other flow that I need
no,
to.
No. It's
yeah.
I'm just I'm playing the person who just asked questions now.
No, that's great. And so I guess this. And so like, here's the other thing. So if you, source components layout.tsx, if it doesn't exist, you can go down here and you can use apply and it will create it.
Nice.
Ooh, did a lot better there. So, so now if we look, and it actually created it in the right place.
Amazing.
I don't know how I feel about it. I always put like my file names in lowercase. It's not a big deal, but it's just if we weren't working on this from scratch, and I talk about this, and other times as well, if you already have like a standard down, so like I already had a couple files and the file names are lowercase and all of that, it does tend to copy that style. But whenever it's just like net new, it's like, all right, it's my turn, right?
Yeah, free for all.
Free for all. Until you tell me otherwise. Cool. So there's our layout component. So far, it is happy. It's interesting because it pulls this FC from Hono JSX instead of from React.
Yep.
Okay, create a home component. So we'll just go down here and we'll say apply. And then create an about component. So we'll say apply. Look at all these wonderful components. For client hydration, create the client.txt file. And so if we hover over here, it's probably going to say, yeah, so it's just in source client. Sure. We got some interesting stuff here. What's this?
Yeah.
Cannot find. Oh, it's the declaration file. That's that one we can easily fix with, oh. Yeah, well, it's this.
Yep.
Like, we don't need Tabnine for that. So.
We don't have to AI everything.
We don't have to AI all the things. And it's probably the same thing for this one too. So used to, like, in the quick fix, it would come up and say, like, do you want to run that? But now it doesn't. It's fine. Okay. And so we did that. That's the client. And don't forget to create a styles.css file in your public folder. All right. And I don't remember, was the public folder just next to this?
I think so, but we should double check. But
yeah, yeah. So the public folder was outside of source, a sibling to source. So come down here, new folder, public, and styles.css.
Sounds good to me.
Gotta go back and find where we were. Client. Okay. Styles. So this setup provides a basic example. Main index, layout, individual page components, out and about. So it's like, does Hono know to do this stuff? So is it bundle your client TSX file and output it to that? So that's what I want. That's what I'm unsure if, like,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna
I
know to
think
do
it's
that.
there.
Yeah, we should ask, but I don't know. I think we have to tell it that.
Well, because here, this is mad. Cannot find name window.
Which makes sense because it's
Yeah. Let's just see what. This is like my favorite thing to do. I'm gonna start a new conversation. I'm just gonna say fix code. So this is saying you need to declare window as part of the global scope. Let's see. In TypeScript, you can do this by adding a type declaration for window. Here's the minimal fix for the code block. Is that how you normally do it? Because I'm guessing. So then you got like hydrate component. And then the document's going to be the same thing. How would you resolve this for document as well? You can add type declarations at the top of your file. I feel like there's like a different place to put this.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, I'm like this. This feels like it's done something weird, but
project wide place to resolve this. Yes. The best approach is to configure your TypeScript compiler options in the tsconfig file. To do this, you should add or modify the lib array in the compiler options section of the TS to include DOM. Okay, so libs, we got ESNext, and DOM. So if we go find this, and now, because this should exist, good, it does exist, we can go over here and then just add in DOM. So we save that. And then those went away. Great. And then what is this? Argument of type element is not assignable to a parameter of React node. Type promise is not assignable. Okay. So again, I don't Google things anymore. I just highlight it and say fix code.
well, I love watching you do this because like I get in trouble because I'm just like, well, let's see if this error matters. I'm just gonna like run the code. And I love that you're like, no, we're gonna like make sure we don't like get caught with any bad stuff. It's
I was like, I didn't spend all this time learning TypeScript to just like do it like I would without TypeScript.
yeah.
Let's see, to fix the error you're encountering, you need to modify the component type and how it's used. Here's the minimal code block that addresses the issue. So here we're just, I think the only thing, like, okay, so if I do apply, you can see apparently, like, they're like, why do you have all this stuff in here when you're not using it? But also it like try to take out the path. Oh, I see, because this is not the full code, so that you have to be careful. Because it's yeah. Okay. So basically this is the part that's different. So we'll just do this. What? Oh, it's interesting because like doesn't Hono have like file-based routing or something? Because like this seems to be doing like its own routing.
Yeah, that feels. I feel like we should nudge Claude and say like,
yeah,
should Hono just do this for us?
let's do what does this file do? And like sometimes if you even know what it does, like it's a good thing to ask it, because that's kind of like having it think about it, and then that adds that to the context, which might help you get better answers down the line. So it's a way of just like feeding more information. Is the client side entry point for your React application? Here's a breakdown of what it does. It imports React. Okay, yeah. Routing. It implements a simple client side routing mechanism based on the current URL path. It uses Windows location path name to get the current path. Component selection based on the path. Yeah, so it's doing its own. It's doing like a simple routing. Hydration, finally, hydration. Okay, so what's worth noting that this is a very basic routing system. For more complex applications, you might want to consider using a routing library like React Router for more advanced routing capabilities. So does Hono have its own file-based routing system? Yes. Let's see, it does have its own, which is particularly useful when working with Cloudflare workers and other edge computing platforms. This feature is called file-based routing, or sometimes referred to as directory-based routing in Hono. Here's a brief overview of how Hono's file-based routing works. By default, Hono uses a directory named routes in your project structure. In files inside routes directory automatically become route handlers. The file names and directory structure directly corresponds to URL paths. Okay. It's like going back to .ts.
In our private chat, I dropped in the link to like the React renderer one, which uses the c.render, which I think may get us closer.
Okay, so let's go over here. Oh, Atticus has fallen asleep, and he's now doing puppy dreams. Oh. Okay. Let's see if that will, of course, not go to the right place.
I feel like whenever I'm on stream, I'm constantly worried I'm going to share an API key, but instead, like, I can't get the basic stuff I want on the right screen.
Right. Wait. Just give me. Was it? I started using Arc, and I do like it, but there are some times where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Not that. I didn't copy it. Okay. All right. So this one is the basic, right? Okay. So
yeah. So it seems like you can kind of just like
did it
use
not take me to where you were expecting.
I was showing you the basic because it's just like it seems like that c.render is like the thing that we want.
Did I go to the right thing?
Or now you're not there.
Or is it
anymore.
what you
So go up a little bit.
So React Renderer basic. Is this what you sent me?
Yes. Yeah.
Then we got extending props. The call render. I mean, we can try. I mean, we can ask it to refactor this to use the what it just said here, because like this, like what I'm seeing here doesn't seem to have any like file routing. or routing at all.
Yeah, the basic one, you just hard code the routing into
I
the
don't
index.
hear you.
Oh, weird. Test.
Is that me or?
Well, can you hear me now?
Oh no! Did I lose audio?
Chat, Craig, can you hear me?
I've lost audio somehow. So you
Craig,
can still hear me. I just can't hear you for some reason. Did I mute myself? No. Well. Oh my gosh.
Test. Yeah, right.
Oh. Okay. Why is this not happening? So, okay, so the mic is working.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Communicate only through code in tab 9. Oh,
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear you anymore. Let me see if it's just Streamlabs. Like, what else do I have that can make noise? Where are all the videos that are just like hanging out on YouTube? Okay, that's probably not a good one. Okay, so my speaker is working other place. Okay, so I'm going, let's try. Okay, I'm going to remove you, add you back. It's weird that they can hear you, but I can't hear you. Did I somehow? Oh, I think I figured it out.
Test.
Oh my God. Okay, so it was totally me. Remember how I was like, I'm using Arc now and I really like it, but there's all of these things. There is a little like mute button that I accidentally hit that muted just this tab.
Weird. That's wild.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. So where were we before I stopped hearing you? Was there something on this page that we should do, or should we go back to?
Yeah, I think Craig and I were talking about this. I think it's getting confused between Hono and Hono X. And so I think that's where it's like it's starting to like give us Hono X when this is Hono.
I see. So is this stuff? Wait. So how far down the wrong path have we gone?
I think we're getting closer now. I think we should just give it. Can we pass tab 9 a URL? Like, can we give it those docs for Hono render and be like, use these docs?
Not right now, but what I could do is just go and grab the doc, and so why do they gotta remove everything? Where
every time.
I was like, why do they gotta like change? Oh, there we go. So like what I can do is copy that and say using these docs, how do we update the application to use, was it called React Render or
React Renderer?
Okay, so I feel like we've done that. Look, this one even told us to, okay.
Yeah.
We'll run it again. No hurt doing that.
Yep.
Update the config JSON file to include the following compiler options. So do we not have that? Oh, so React that import source. So we want React. Okay. So these are the two things that it needed. All the existing stuff is fine. Update the index to use the React renderer. So I want to make sure it's not like all these are fine. Okay, so let's open up that file. And just because I'm going to use the insert instead of the apply because it's a little bit faster. Okay, update client TSX. Insert. Still seems like that's like, anyway. Our layout. Okay. These changes will update your application to use the React Renderer middleware. The main differences are we're now using React Renderer instead of JSX Renderer. Is that the HonoX thing? The layout component is now responsible for rendering the entire HTML structure. We've added the doctype true option to include doctype in the rendered HTML. Make sure to update your build process to compile the client-side JavaScript and place it in the correct static file location. Also ensure these components are compatible with both server-side rendering and client-side rendering.
Yeah, and I feel like the client-side thing, I don't know. I feel like the client.tsx is like the wrong path. I think this works without the client.tsx. I think Hono will just do all the rendering for us.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought. So like just taking out the client.tsx.
Yeah. Like we should just like let Hono worry about it and
delete. Okay.
It's funny. I find this with like using the LLM sometimes of like once it's gone down a path, it just like assumes that's the right path, and you're like, no, actually, like forget that ever happened.
So I think we need this, and then we need FC because I think this is where we were going down that wrong path, and we need. There we go. That makes that happy. That makes that happy. I do not know what this is.
Yeah, I think we should just take that out, the serve static. Okay. And then on line 10, we can just delete that too for now.
It's like, oh my gosh. We're an hour in and we haven't gotten. Okay. So now we should be able to just run this and see.
Yeah, now is the moment of truth.
Yeah. Okay, so npm run dev. The entry point file at index.ts was not found. So we changed the entry point.
Yeah.
I think that is it.
It's in the Wrangler toml. I just fixed it for us.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Save. Yeah, that Wrangler. It's a new thing for me. Okay, so it's ready on that. B. Welcome to Rate My Haul. Share and rate your latest purchase. Okay.
now we can start slinging some code.
Yes, we have a basic app that serves this. Okay, so we'll leave layout alone. I don't know. It's probably fine.
I'll take it out. I don't like that there. I'm deleting it. It doesn't
all
matter.
right, go for it. So we'll leave layout here, and then we'll just we can work on the home. So the home is the first page that pops up because we can see that now through these defined routes. So whenever we're at the root, it just goes to home. So we can just stick with that. Yeah, we're not using like the file-based routing or anything. We'll worry about that later. Okay, so in the home, I'm gonna close everything else. Close others. All right. So this is where we want to be able to. The first thing we need to do is be able to get the picture of Candy, right? All right.
Yes.
So I'm just going to highlight that to give it more focus and say update this component to include the ability to. Do we want to upload? Do we want to make this like to where we can like upload or use the camera to take a picture? Or
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess upload, though. Camera would be cool. We just don't have a Hall of Candy to show the camera.
Okay. To upload an image of your candy haul. Does it need to do anything else, or
and then like pass that image to a API? Or do we want to do that next?
And we'll say and display it in the home page and pass the image to an API route to store it in a cloud storage service. We don't need to store it, right? We just
we just want to analyze it
to a route.
I think we can say just to like a Hono route for now, and then we'll do more.
API route. API route. Okay, well, let's see what it says. Certainly, I'll update the home component to include the ability to upload an image of a candy haul and display it on the homepage. We'll also add functionality to pass the image to a Hono API route. Here's the updated component. So this is a nice place where we can use apply. So let me scroll down to it. So let's go ahead and this is the whole file. Yeah, okay. Let's hit. Oh, it says the rest of your code. Oh, wait, no, okay. I'm like, wait. Okay, so here's home. You got to watch out because sometimes when it's like the rest of your code, then you end up like deleting stuff.
I had that issue yesterday where like a whole app stopped working and I couldn't figure out why. And then I went and there was just a big chunk that said the rest of your code. I'm like, oh.
Let's see. So most of this is all new. This is rate your latest candy purchase. It's still trying to figure it out.
It's a new idea.
Yeah. And so we've got here. So if there's an image, we're going to show it. And we can see here, actually, it will probably explain what's going on. So we've added state to manage the uploaded image and uploading status. We've created a handle image upload function that sends the selected image to API upload endpoint. We've added input for file selection and a display area for the uploaded image. We've created a new Hono route to handle the image upload, which I haven't done yet. Note this is a mock implementation, and you need to replace it with the actual upload logic, typically to storage. Okay. Remember to update your layout component to include any necessary CSS for styling the new elements. Also note that this implementation doesn't persist. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It might be. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to accept this change. So it's not, so, the result is of unknown type, probably because we haven't done that part yet. And so, so we got home. Now let's create the Hono API route to handle this. Add the following to your source index. Cool. So this is the part where like it's like just put it in the index, and we should probably like think about putting it somewhere else. But let's just go do the thing. I should have created a new or started a new thing, a new conversation.
Yeah.
Cool. So here is our upload. App.post. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like, I know this isn't Express, but okay. And so here is, we created a post route to accept the upload from the form data. So that's good. If there's not an image, no image provided. Oh, and then this is just It's like, oh, we mocked it. But we do have access to the image here that we can use to like do stuff with. So it's like a file. It's a file type, a type of file. Okay. Do we want to try to pull this into its own file or just keep working?
I think we should keep doing this. I think this is good.
All right. I'm going to start a new conversation. Okay, great. So we should be able to, I think, well, let's see what this is. Okay, so this result, this is just a type because it's unknown. Wait. So it's doing form data. What is result? So response. So we're awaiting the fetch. So if response is okay. Set emit. Wait, is this even? Am I missing something? Oh wait, there's result.
Yeah.
Okay, so result is equal to, yeah, so we don't know what this looks like.
The shape of that.
The shape of that, yeah, because we don't have a, so this is, especially for TypeScript stuff, I just like to be like over here and say fix code. And it will give us something. So it's probably, so this solution adds a type guard check to the result. Just making sure that that is there. So if we go, it's right here, result. Oh, so this is using invalid response format. It's not my favorite. Can we fix this with TypeScript?
I like that. That's a good way of framing that.
It's like, let's see. Certainly, we can fix it with types by using a type assertion or by defining an interface for the expected response. That's kind of what I want. Here's how we can do it. So response, result. So there's as that. If you prefer, we could also define an interface for the response, and that's what I would like. So here is our interface. And I want it This is where it being in its own file would make the most sense, but because you would import it from that file. You know what? Fine. I'm just going to stick it up here for right now. Sometimes you just got to get it down. So it's this. As upload response. Okay, so now that's happy. And if we go over here, refresh, share and rate your latest candy purchase, choose a file. Here's there's your.
It's gonna rate me as candy.
Yeah, I was like, do I have anything in here that's like QR codes? I have my picture. I don't know. Here's the Tabnine logo. We just want to see. Oh, it didn't display it so much. Okay.
Baby steps. What do we get anything in the console? What are we?
No. So I don't know if it like actually submitted. So let's take a look here. So we got the handle image upload.
Yeah.
So on change, it's not. So are we actually getting? Because we didn't see upload. Let's look in the network here. I guess it's not technically changing if we.
Yeah. We may have to do a hard refresh and then try.
Let's try. Okay. That, I don't know. We're seeing what your candy value is. Yeah. So I don't think it's actually submitting. Why isn't this submitting the form after an image is selected? The form isn't automatically submitting after an image is selected because the current implementation uses a controlled input and handles the upload process programmatically through this. Let's break down why this is happening. Okay. This approach, wait, what? So it says when a file is selected, handle image upload is called immediately. Inside handle image upload, the file upload process is handled manually using the fetch API without submitting a form. See, this is why I use Remix. Like everything's a form.
Everything is a form. Can we do one of my favorite things to do with AI though, which is like just ask it to add a bunch of console logs so we can see what's going on?
Yeah, let's do that. And we will do that in here. So nothing is selected. Add a bunch of console.log statements to upload to debug the upload process. So,
yeah, I think that's
Certainly. See, like here's where it's not including the stuff at the top, so I'm worried about that. Now let's add some statements to the render part. Okay. Show me the entire updated file. Sometimes I just don't want to play this game, and
yeah, I know, right?
I was like, give it to me all at once. It's fine.
I'm the same way.
Wow, that's a lot of console logs.
That's why I love it, because think of how much we'd have to think of, like where to add all those. It's like, yeah, I'll just put one everywhere.
Okay. So let's go back to console. Refresh. Image will be loaded automatically when selected. It's you, Ricky.
Huh.
Not one of them fired.
Well, that's something.
Like, I feel like there just needs to be like some kind of submit button. Because like to get it to automatic, like does on change even work with a file upload type? Does on change work with a file upload file input? Yes, the on change event works. In fact, your code is already using it correctly. Oh, thanks. Okay, great. The on change event is triggered. Like we didn't see anything. Like
Yeah.
we didn't even see handle function called.
Yeah, that's weird.
I was like, I don't know what I think. Oh, these are like the funny pictures. This is like where we got. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Craig. Can we view the source in the browser and see if we're seeing?
I gotta find the right one. So no, that's sources. Just elements, right?
Yeah, see if we see like.
Wait a minute. Do we have?
Yeah, it's not injecting the JavaScript.
We don't have JavaScript.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So what we thought we had it set up to render things, and it's not looking like that's the case.
Yeah.
So maybe that client stuff was important.
Well, now we
okay,
know the problem. We can ask the AI to fix it.
Let's see. I was like, what would it be? Why is this project not loading the React app on the client side? That seems probably it. Based on the code you provided, the project structure, it appears that the project is not loading a React app on the client side because it's using server-side rendering with Hono and the Hono React renderer package. Let me explain. So yeah, so it is like rendering our components, but it's doing that on this client side. Yeah. Let's see. The React render is being used React. Okay, on the client side, no client side JavaScript. There's no evidence of any client side JavaScript being sent to the browser. Typically, for a client side React app, you would see a bundle of JavaScript being loaded in the HTML, a root element where React would mount the app, code to initialize the React app on the client side. Route handling. The routes are being handled server side by Hono. When a request comes in, okay, yeah, API endpoints. So to make this a client-side React application, you would need to set up a build process to create client-side bundle of your React components, modify the server to serve the bundle to the client, add client-side routing with React Router, implement client-side rendering and hydration. However, it's worth noting that this current setup has advantages. It provides faster initial page loads. It works well for static content or content that doesn't require much client-side interactivity. Is suitable for applications that need to work without JavaScript enabled. If you want to add client-side React functionality while keeping the server-side rendering, you might look into implementing a hybrid approach, often referred to as isomorphic or universal JavaScript applications. So we could use the follow-up question here. How can I set up a build process to create a client-side bundle of my React components?
I feel like it kind of is like answered a different question than what we were wondering. Like, can we take the home.tsx and just highlight the like client-side JavaScript and be like, why is this not showing up?
Yeah. So let's new conversation. Let's go over to that. Where it's basically this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be you have it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had it.
I was like, what is this? Why is this not showing up? Showing up in the page?
Yeah.
Based on the provided code, it seems that you're concerned. Error handling.
Yeah, I feel like it misunderstood our question.
Yeah.
It's like this isn't rendering on the front end, right? Is that
Yeah. So like what the React renderer is doing is it's taking our React components, turning them into HTML, and putting them on there. But it's yeah, it's not. We need to do. This is the stuff that like normally, like all the templates set up for me.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like just like some Hono built-in things that does all this.
Yeah. Want to ask? Is there a Hono built-in thing?
What are common Hono middlewares that are used in React applications? Sometimes that's a good question. While Hono itself is not specifically designed for React applications, it can be used in conjunction with React, especially server-side, static site generated. The context of Hono, see, React renderer middleware, so we're using that. Static asset middleware, so if you need to serve static files, I feel like we're going to need that. Cores middleware, logger middleware, authentication, basic auth, compression. Okay, so because I think, well, I don't know. Client-side JavaScript. Wait, what? How does Hono handle packaging and serving client-side code? It's like it's just a server. It's just a server-side framework. Okay, so static file serving.
Yeah, I think we can add the serve static, but I'm not sure it's going to fix what we're seeing on.
Yeah, because it says like for a React application like yours, you typically use a build tool like Webpack, Vite, create React app. If you're using client-side routing with React Router, I think this is a situation where like it has all of this information and there's like so many different ways that it could like go, but we've just not given it a good enough information to like figure out where to go.
Yeah. Can we say like, looking at my current project, what's like the quickest fix to get everything working? That's too vague, but like something like that of like take into account what we have, like.
What's the best way to get
like the file upload working?
I don't know if that's going to be.
Yeah, it's probably too vague.
It seems you've already implemented. Yeah, so it doesn't seem to know that, like,
It doesn't know it's not working. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, we haven't well, no. So this time it's like putting the upload stuff in in its own file.
Yeah, that's funny.
Update your Wrangler, improve error handling, add cores, implement file for. Okay, so that wasn't it. Try telling it you just want to host the client-side JavaScript, maybe, like add a JavaScript file. How do we host the client-side Java script? You have several options given that you're already using Cloudflare Workers, your backend. I would recommend using Cloudflare Pages for hosting your front end. Save and deploy. So, yeah. So I think so we use the Cloudflare starter, and like the Hono framework, like the starter that it did for like Hono was just like it was a little too basic because it wasn't like a Hono like application for building like React applications or whatever. So it was very, everything was very, very static. And so like I do see where it's like, oh yeah, you would need to use like Vite or something to do all the building. And this is using Vite, so which would cause, so like instead of layout, we would have to have like an index.html that it would use, and then the main entry point into like the React part is this main.tsx. And then we would need something like React router. So that's part of the reason that like I like to start with like Remix, because it builds all that stuff and it uses Vite.
Yeah.
And then through like some of the work that Yusuke was doing, like there's ways to with using Vite to use Hono as like the backend that gets created. So
what would happen? I know this is crazy, but now we're just like in the territory. If we said like, can you refactor this into a Remix application? Like, you think it would do it?
I don't know. Because normally we start with like the create remix app type thing, right? And it gives a lot of stuff. I think probably the quicker way would be to refactor it to use a build tool.
Yep.
Because like it would take care of building out the different files that need to be deployed. But also we have like 30 minutes left.
Yeah. I'm like, what is the quickest path to get something we're happy with in 30 minutes?
I don't know. So that's, so yeah, install a build tool, add build script to your package.js, create the Vite, and just, because like if we make these changes, because we haven't really done much, we might be able to make these changes to implement Vite, and then it will at least get the JavaScript in. If we can like, if I can do that really quickly. Make sure, where is this? Yeah, because that they just want that in the root. And then that's the root. So like basically it gets like hydrated using main. And then main pulls in home, but we don't have we don't have a router. So like we would have to then bring in like, or just make it, it would just be the single page. So like here, it's just always going to render home. I guess we don't. Do we need routing for this?
I don't think so. I think it can be
Okay.
a single page.
So let's try doing this stuff so we can bring in Vite, which it's not going to give us a nice little. Okay. So for package.json, let's open that up and ooh, I don't know. I think there's something special that you have to do to get Vite and Wrangler to run together too. Because like whenever we do dev, we need it to run like the Vite with the hot reloading, and then but also there's like the Wrangler portion.
Yeah, I can get that for you because I just behind the scenes was starting a new app to get some of that. But I think,
yeah.
So
I think like one place we went wrong is we were trying to use AI to get us to a place that we can get to without using AI. We just needed to find the correct template. And I think everything that we did was just kind of confusing the AI a bit. Okay, so preview becomes preview npm run build and Wrangler pages dev. Okay. Oh, preview. Oh. What? I guess I did not actually copy it. Okay, and then we need our build. Well, that's, so is preview the new dev that we would be using?
So yeah, the way you typically do it is you keep dev as like the default for whatever your Vite like dev build is, so you can like test that without Cloudflare being in it, and then preview lets you do it with Cloudflare.
Okay. Let's apply this so that way it will create it. Apply this so it will create it. So is it going to put that in the right place? Okay, so let's apply that so it will create it. Cool, making those changes. But now we have the main. Oh god! So there's like a change that would have to be done in here, right? Or no? Or yes? There's like the putting the two things together now, because like if we go through this main route here where it's pulling in the home, So it's like we're not really using this layout or this, well, this index, right? So like it should be, really, this should be rendering main. So we should bring in main and have it render main here, which will pull in home.
I'm doing something funny on my side that I feel like we can get this done in 30 minutes, but it's going to be like a reset, which is like, we should just restart the process over, but instead of picking Hono, we should pick remix.
Okay.
And get a remix, like a sample remix application, and it'll just all be set up to go.
Okay. Sorry, Hono.
Sorry, Yusuke. Well,
it's okay. They're probably asleep, right?
Yeah. He's hopefully not up yet. But yeah, I wanted to test it real quick before I took you down this path, but I just did create Cloudflare again and selected remix. And then I said like, add an upload button and do this. And it was like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Part of like what I'm trying to do is like branch out. If I can do remix, I can do things like really quickly. So I'm just going to do RF. Let's see, that throbbing cherry was my previous one. Rate my haul. Okay. And so let's do the npm play crowd front. Racing the clock.
This has actually been great for me though, because I'm learning so much about how you talk through problems with Tabnine, which is really, really fascinating.
I think what it is like I've been live streaming for so long that I'm used to like talking things out loud, and so like I just type them in now too.
That's smart. That's really good.
I just yeah, I don't know. All right, my haul. Okay, and so we're going to framework starter, and then we're going down to remix.
This is going to be a really great like 27-minute video if we get this working.
I know. I'm just going to be like, because what I do is after I get done, I go through and I put the little chapters in. I'm just going to be like, ignore all this part.
This is where it gets good.
Yes. Yes. Deprecation warnings. And then we wait for npm.
I know. I feel like whenever I'm like doing it in front of people with an npm install, it's like so slow. And then when I'm on my own, it seems like it just is 2 seconds.
Okay. Do you want to deploy your application? So no. And then if we do npm run dev, we're not in the directory. So the first thing it says to do is to change directories. So let's do that. And then we can run it. Okay, and then we open this. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay.
Look at that. It looks awesome.
So now, wait, there. Oh, it did work. Let's do code dot. And of course, it opens in the wrong page, wrong screen. Oh, no. And move it. Make it big. Let's invite you back in.
Yes.
Okay, so it's copied. This one is the private chat. All right, that's good. And we can close that. Okay, cool. All right, here is all our stuff. We are going to go back into the routes, into the index. You know what? Let's just do a new one and call this one. We can do it in index. It's fine. What do we got here? was like, let's take some of this stuff out. This is the header. Rate my haul. Okay, great. Navigation, we don't really care about. Let's take this out. Yeah, I'm just gonna take out all the navigation. Oh my gosh. A little cleanup from the template here. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go back to tab 9, and what was the thing that we asked it before?
Upload.
Okay, yeah. So refactor this component to include the ability to upload an image of your candy haul, display it on the page, and send it to an API for processing.
Amazing.
Certainly, I'll refactor the component and include an image upload functionality, display and send it to an API for processing. Here's the modified version. So it's like, let's go ahead and change the title. Okay, that's great. And then the action function. So that is Remix's version of like the API. So we'll get it here. And then we've got some state that we're using, action data that's coming back. We're using a programmable submit. That's great. Handle the image change, handle submit, preview, errors. No, this looks great. Here's all the stuff that I said to if you want it to be more. And so I am going to quickly insert it. And then we've got some squigglies. What are you? Okay, so this is just TypeScript stuff here because it does not know what's coming back so with this, it's a little bit easier to do. Let me see. So we've got use action data, type of action. That should type it. That's very weird. Type of action, action function, action function. So we're returning an error. I think it's just getting confused about how the return's happening. This should run. So let's just go see. What? Oh, it will only run if you are running it.
Yeah, and if you do npm run preview, it'll run through Wrangler for you.
Oh. Is that important? npm run preview.
Cool. Yeah, it'll be important later.
It will be important later. Wait, this is it. Okay, choose file. And we are going to say, here's Ricky. Oh, look, we got further than we did before. And then when we hit rate my haul, image processed successfully. Okay, so also like what we're not seeing is whenever you hit submit, it goes to this action function. So right now it's not really doing anything. It's just saying image and it's returning that. And so in here is where we can actually do our processing. So what do we need to do next?
Next, what we want to have the AI examine it, right?
Okay. Yeah. So what are we using for the AI. I feel like we need to give it a little more context than that.
Yeah, I just sent you the docs for Llama 3.2 Vision, which can look
Okay.
at this.
How about okay, so that might be enough. Okay, so refactor this to use Llama 3.2 Vision
And
from Cloudflare, right?
yeah, I was going to say you're a step ahead of me.
Cloudflare to process the image and provide a rating for the haul.
Or like a description of the candy.
And provide a description of the candy haul. Okay, let's see what that does. Certainly. Cool. We need to make use of Cloudflare's AI capabilities and handle the image processing. Here's the refactored code. Okay. So instead of me just like going through this, let's go to the bottom. So here's what changed in this refactored version. We're now using the context parameter in the action function to access environment variables. We convert the uploaded image to a base64 string, which is required for Llama model input. We prepare the input for the Llama model, including the base64 image and a prompt asking to describe the candy in the image. We make a fetch request to the Cloudflare API endpoint. You'll need to replace your account ID with your actual Cloudflare account ID. Use the environment variable for authentication. You'll need to set this up. We'll process the response and return the description. Error handling has been improved. And then here's the things we need to make it work. Does this sound right? Or is there a way that's like using the context that makes it different?
So this is close. I think we should see where it gets us. I think this there's a couple things we need to change, but I think this will get us close.
Let me see. Is it saying, okay. I was like, will apply do the thing that I want? Looks like yes. Yeah, because it left that alone. Okay, so let's take that. It's mad about the typing for that, which is fine. I think there's a way we can fix that. Okay, so we need these environment variables for one thing.
Yep.
Cloudflare API token and account ID. Does it, because this is a Cloudflare thing, does it know about this, or do we have to like put these into environment variables?
We'll put them into environment variables. It can know about them, but I think we have to do a little work to get there, and environment variables will be quicker.
Okay. Oh wait, we got a comment. We gotta pay attention to those comments as well.
Yeah. We are remixing this.
We're really remixing this. Okay. So So to make sure, you need to set up the Cloudflare API token in your Cloudflare workers environment. Okay. Replace account ID. Oh, so do you see it?
I'm actually fixing something else for us
Okay.
ahead of schedule so that we don't have to deal with it on stream.
Oh, cool. So your account ID here. So I think I have my account open over here. Where are you at? Nope, not that one. Loading my Cloudflare dashboard. Oh, I got logged out.
Yeah, I'm like, I can do this, but I'm definitely going to be the one who accidentally posts my credentials.
Don't do that. Okay, where do I get my ID?
It's actually, once you log in, the easiest way is it's just in the URL is where I always end up getting it.
Okay. Is it just the thing at the end?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, great. So replace this. It's not where I would normally put it, but what they are. And then this Cloudflare API token, I guess somewhere in here. Is it under AI?
I always search for API tokens, but I'm dropping the link for you.
Okay.
Boom, right there in our private chat.
God, where's this going to open? Okay, well, not my favorite. But like whenever you're using whenever you're using like Arc and like basically every like new windows are still have the same. Okay, so I'm just going to create a token. API token templates. Do I just want to use like the workers AI template or
Exactly? Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess this is all fine. Continue to summary. Oh wait, choose what? Okay, Aydrian's account. Sure. For account resources, select accounts to include or exclude. I just said include Aydrian's account.
Yeah, exactly.
Create token. Is this something that people shouldn't see or?
People should definitely not see your token. So I don't know if you want to pause sharing and drop it in the environment.
So let's go back over here. Hello. All right.
Hey.
And so can I just, do I need to put it somewhere special or do I put it in like a dot?
Just, yeah, wherever you typically do it for Remix.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I typically, I don't know if I have to like set something up to.
Oh, Craig says .dev.vars will do it for you.
That sounds great. New. Oh, come on. New file. .dev.vars. And I think somewhere it told me. So there's that. Come back over here. Is it just like Cloudflare token equal? Does it use like the regular?
Yeah, just the standard format.
All right, and I'm going to close that. We're never going to open it again. So that should be fine. Let's go back over and so we can see my screen again. Okay. So now we did implement all this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should be able to like do you have I need a picture of a candy haul.
Yeah. I'll drop it in our private chat.
Okay.
There's a picture of some candy.
Candy. Oh, candy. Let's see. Save image as my downloads. That's not just like a picture from your house, is it?
No. It's a picture from Google Images. So sorry, whoever I borrowed this picture from.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool. Rate my haul. Image processed. Do we have a wait, I need to see what's going on here.
Yeah, I kind of didn't think this would work on the first try, so I'm like, there's got to be an error somewhere.
I guess that's where the console would be helpful. Okay, so let's see, what are we doing here? So we got this, we got our input, we got our response. So result, response JSON.
You know what we need to do? We need to kill the preview and restart it. It may not auto reload, so that's probably why we didn't.
I'm so used to like hot swapping and stuff.
I know.
Exit. Using vars and da 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 da.
Yep, there's your token.
Okay. I was like, there's my token. What? You didn't see that?
Oh, it hit it, but like there's your, it says we have a token.
Failed to process image.
Oh, the pressure is on. What's our error?
Cannot read properties of undefined. Cloudflare API token. You know what? I might have put that wrong. Hold on. Let's go back here. Just make sure I might have copied the wrong thing. Dev vars. No, that's right. Is it just, it's just Cloudflare underscore API underscore token equals thing, and that's it?
That should be it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we are.
That's all closed. Okay, let's go back to this. Yeah, so error process cannot read properties of undefined, reading Cloudflare. So it's
Can we just drop that error into Tabnine and see?
that was my next thing. My other favorite thing to do. Let's do a new conversation. How do we resolve this error? I understand you're encountering two issues, a TypeScript error and a runtime error. Let's address them one by one. TypeScript error. Okay, yeah. Sure. Okay, so this is the type error. I'm not as worried about that one. The runtime error, that's it. I cannot read undefined suggests that context.env is undefined, which means the environment variable is not set or not accessible in your Cloudflare workers environment. To resolve this, make sure you've set, you can do this in the Cloudflare dashboard or using Wrangler. If you're running the app locally, you need to set up environment variables. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. Update wrangler.toml file to include the environment variable. Oh, well, that's a different way of doing it. Just putting it directly into the toml file. That seems not secure.
Yeah, that is not the recommended way to do it. I don't know if this will fix it for us, but I dropped npm run cf-typegen in the private chat.
Okay.
That will at least run our types based on everything we have.
Okay.
I don't know if that will fix it, but I think it's worth a try.
That. Ooh, okay. Well, we got to type. We'll rerun the preview. Yeah, it's just context. So we are using the context. Refresh. Choose the file. Not Ricky. Okay, failed processing, and we got the same underlying issue.
Yeah, it's funny because what I want to do is not what we should do on stream, which is just drop the token in for now to get it working.
I don't think I gave you my credit card, so
Yeah, that's fair enough.
tell us
That's
about
true.
that free tier.
Yeah. Enjoy the free tier.
Let's console.log context. Ooh, that's probably gonna show too much. Hold on. Let me switch over here and see what that says.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oops. Okay. So refresh. Oh, I should probably restart the preview. Okay. And then quickly grab this. So it's context.cloudflare.env. So that might be it. It's not showing anything bad, so I can go back over here. So
I think I just fixed it. I think we drop it in context.cloudflare.env. So if we try it now, I think we should be closer.
Exit, rerun that. Oh, well, we got that, so that's good. Ooh, I don't know if it was saved on my side. If that doesn't work, then we might want to just rerun that. Yeah, I think I need to just restart because like you made the change, but it wasn't saved on my end. It's very weird. No, go back to downloads. Okay. Did we get further? Oh, we got further, so it's not
yeah.
So now it's HTML error 400.
And I think there's one thing that I may need to do, but I don't have the dev.vars, which is good. And now, can you drop me your API key in private chat?
Yes. Okay. For me to be able to grab that, let's go back over here. Like, this is the fun part, is just like going back and forth.
I know, right?
Hiding the screen. Let's see. This. Yeah. That is the private chat indeed.
Okay. There's just one thing.
Lizzie. Lizzie's here. I saw her.
Lizzie? I wonder if this is we'll see. There's one thing you have to do with Llama 3.2 that I think you have to like agree to the terms and service. And so try now.
Okay. So probably restart this.
Yep.
Rebuild. And then refresh. Failed to process image. Wait, is there anything that I need to like resave?
I don't think so.
Because you just went in and like agreed to something.
Yeah.
All right, so
we are so close. We're gonna get this. We've got like
so close.
45 seconds.
I've gone over before. It's really up to. Okay, so let's do that thing where we highlight this and say let's go back to tab 9 and say add console.log statements to Yeah, let's just do that. Log the image data. So we added this thing where we're using AI to help you generate the prompts, which I think is great because that seems fine to me.
Yep.
Certainly. Okay, and then let's just apply, and you can see all of the new stuff. And I will just accept that, except that my cursor wasn't over there. I think I'm going to have to restart this now. Wait, is it? No, it's reloading the local server. Let's try it. That would be great to not have to like do that step. Okay, so it failed, but okay, you know what? Maybe it actually wasn't. I think it's because
maybe it thought it was, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't rerun the Vite part, which is where our changes were. Halloween candy. It made a very pretty button. I like didn't even tell it to do that.
I'm always amazed with how good the front end looks on this stuff.
Okay. Oh, so we're getting bad request. Incoming image. Size. So the llama model is sending back bad request. Is it actually sending the image? Or well, that's just the name, right? Like
yeah, I'm doing like a code review to make sure it's sending the right stuff.
So we're turning the image into an array buffer. We're turning that into an unsigned int8 array. We got our input. Okay. And that's our image. This is our prompt. Sending it to the llama model using fetch. We're making fetch happen. There's our token. Stringifying the body, which is the input. Sure. If it's not okay, throwing the error. So it's not okay, so we don't have a result. So this is where we're ending here.
I'm going to try a change that is Ricky change, not an AI change, and see if this gets us closer.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. So don't mind me just pulling.
Don't worry, the whole world knows it's you. We got your name following you along.
Yeah. Yeah, they're watching me like copy code from one project to another.
That's what we do.
That is what we do. I wanted to see what the code was like before. Was this under lowercase? Oh, can you run the type gen one more time?
Yeah.
I think this is just a type error.
Now we got AI unknown.
Awesome.
Run the preview, I guess. So do you think should I try the app
Let's
again?
try it. Let's try it.
Okay.
Moment of truth.
A loading indicator would be nice.
That is always what I end up doing.
Okay, so it took longer before it failed.
It did something.
HDV error, undefined. Is there like can I go into? Are there like errors that are popping up in like my Cloudflare dashboard that would be helpful?
Maybe. I wonder if we can just log the whole response instead of just the response. Like if I do console.log response here, if that will tell us what's going on.
Yeah, let's find out. So let's exit that, run preview. Okay, wait. Okay, and we'll incur charges. Oh, even
I'll
in
buy
local
you
development.
lunch next time we hang out.
Okay. I'm easily bought with food. Also, you guys don't know my credit card, so
Yeah.
I have yet to enter it in.
Good. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, well, I like that it's taking time.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh, and then failed.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa! What is? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
So it's just like we were getting the right stuff. We're just checking on the wrong thing.
So just the response is a string.
Yeah. The response is object with a response object. And we're checking for, we think it's because it had the fetch. So I can just like take out this. I can take out this. I can do this. I'm just coding now.
Okay, go for it. I mean, it's supposed to assist you. Like it's not supposed to. We don't need it to do everything, right?
Yeah. Okay. Based on that, I don't know. I've got a feeling this could work. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. And then refresh, choose file. Really need a loading.
I know. I feel like at some point, like these LLMs are going to just do that naturally.
Ooh, now it says process successfully, but it's not outputting.
Oh, great. I'll fix this.
We're not using that output anywhere. Let's see.
I just fixed it for us.
Was it in the action data or?
It was in the return. If you go to line 51 on this, what it had, I'll just go back. This was so
but it said like description. Was it? Oh, wait. Oh, so we're returning. The thing is, we're returning the description, but we're just not using it down here. Is the problem?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So if success, let's do this real quick. Boop. And so it's action data dot description. What in the?
I think I broke you. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. Description. And do we have to? Oh wait, it didn't. We have to run it because it didn't run the.
Oh yeah. I got a good feeling about this though.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. It didn't build. But class name found. What?
Oh,
we're using Tailwind apparently.
Here, I'm not a remix expert, but I may have fixed that. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, it's because we're returning two nodes. It needs to be.
Oh, is that
inside a fragment? I think that's. Come on. I said cut. Yeah. So it can only use one node, and we were returning. Yeah. So. Q. No. Preview. Okay.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth. Still no loading indicator, so
that's going to be the thing we have to add before we can call it done. It's always like, did something go wrong?
Okay. The image shows a form feeding called table full of candy. Specifically, the table appears to have the following candy bars, lollipops, gumdrops, Reese's, a type of peanut butter cup, Sour Patch Kids, Kit Kat, Skittles, Hershey's, scope and estimate of candy. These are okay. So it's coming back like in
It's rating it. Yeah.
Okay. Setting aside various chocolate-based Kit Kat bars and gumballs, the image presents different quantities of candy, varying from several Everest-sized baggies of gumballs to multiple bars of candy and countless lollipops. Here's an estimate of the quantity of candy laid on the table. There are approximately 5 packages of candy and 12 individual packs of gumballs combined, the various candies. 36 bags of Sour Patch Kids were counted, including a few packages of multiple bags sealed together. Tea Party boxes or Reese's cups are hard to count, and an estimated 60 to 70 regular dripping cups per pack are reasonably distributed on the table. Yada, 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 yada. Ooh, my God. Oh, let's see. If we go down here, based on the $20 per pound constructed by Milky Way and Reese's cost of 167 pairs of potions. What? Oh my gosh. What? How many calories? Candy has an experience. What? Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of information.
Yeah, and I feel like this becomes most of my coding now. Is like once I get the application working, then I'm like, now I need to like rewrite the prompt and like get the prompt to give me the actual results I want.
I see. Yeah. Okay, and so once we got an application, especially in the case Remix, we have access to this context, right? And so inside there, that's what we ended up using to access the AI stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's what I was like, using fetch to call it. That seems
yeah. This is what we should have done, but I was trying to make us move faster, and I made us move slower.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Do we? Well, let's try to put in the loading thing real quick.
Yeah. I like that.
So I'm just going to copy this function here. We're going to go back over to tab 9. I'm going to start a new conversation. Say update this component to show a loading spinner while the image is being processed. Sure, that sounds great. Certainly, we'll use the use navigation hook. Okay, that's good. That's fine. I mean, this is what we need to be careful. It says keep existing metadata. And so here's basically the stuff. It's going to tell us. Oh, it's still doing that. And so here are the key changes. Imported use navigation from Remix and Run React. Added a check to see if it's submitting. Changed the submit button text to processing when submitted. Added a loader spinning. Oh, that's nice. So it didn't use like an animated like GIF. It's just using CSS. So it added like the animate spin and kind of like created it using a div. That's nice. So what I'm going to do is say, show me the complete updated file. So then I can just copy and paste it in. We did. We had some problems in Hono land.
We made it though.
But
you know?
we ended up being able to upload a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, 45 minutes ago, you and I weren't looking too good. We were like, I don't think we're going to get there. And here we are. We've got the app.
I was like, okay, let's just rim raff what we've done and start again. Yes. Insert. And then exit. Run preview. And refresh. Open. So we've got our haul here. We're going to say rate my haul. Ooh. That looks cool.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
Nice. And like that's the thing is like once we get to this part, like it's really fun to like go in and like have Tabnine refactor it. So like it's not like a coding assistant thing to like get things started. So that's why we can still use all the work that we've done with like templates and things. So if you want to do a remix that goes on Cloudflare, don't start with the AI, like start with the tools that Cloudflare has put out for you to do it. Go watch one of the Craig or Lizzie's videos for the starting point, and then use the AI to help you change things. I've had a lot more success going that way. And then just like the part where you're like, I'm not going to use AI, I'm just going to use what I know. Yeah, like we should not be replacing like what we know just so we don't have to type it. Sometimes I do that, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to give me the right thing at that time.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah. I'd estimate there might be around ...
Yeah.
So we've got some parsing to do on this to kind of put it out in like a nicer format. But you said that involves like changing the prompt. I think this is a good start. Why can I not like scroll up all the way anymore? That's weird. But yeah, so we got there. Anything else? Like I don't do we want to like try to have it do something, or do we want to call it a day?
I feel like we should quit while we're ahead, and we got the like what we wanted to do. I'm happy.
Yeah. And so what I'll probably do is like play around with this more like, offline. For all of these, I put together a little blog post. So I like to highlight, the things that make people successful. So in the beginning, we'll just ignore that part. Yeah, and I'll see if I can like add any features and play around with it before I put the code out there for anybody. But this was fun. It's always let's just go back to this. Always fun to hack around on things with you, Ricky. Thanks for bringing the Cloudflare stuff that we can play with. I need to get better at putting AI in applications. It seems like what everybody's doing. Oh man, we need to add the little stars
in
there so people know. But yeah, it's fun. If not next Halloween, sometime before, we should come up with something else that we can do that's spooky, creepy. But yeah, other than that, for those of you who have not used Cloudflare, you can go to cloudflare.com. There's a dev center that people can go to. I hear that you have some pretty nice free tiers. You can play around with these different things. If you have problems, go check out their videos. So they're constantly putting out cool content, doing different things. Have Lizzie make you something Taylor Swift inspired. But yeah, and I think we will call it a day. So let's get the band to play us out.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I will see everyone not next Tuesday, but in 2 weeks' time. I'm heading to Japan, so watch for the announcements for when the next one's going to be. There's going to be a Tabnine Live coming up. Watch for that as well. And if you have any questions, shout us out on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're watching now. So I guess TTFN, everyone. Thanks again, Ricky. And where's all my buttons? Oh my gosh. Bye, y'all.